Good morning. Memamo Ache. Good morning, everyone. Yeda and Yame, I say, we thank God for the day. Hi, y'all. We coming back with this video for y'all. This is part two of the first video that we made, just giving you guys some insight and some tips on traveling to Ghana, some things to look out for, all that type of stuff. So I got a little list. Me and Anthony made a list of some things that we want to talk about today. Again, this is not a complete list, but it's just some things that came across our mind. Eat in Ghana. So prior to coming here, I thought it was going to be like really, really hot. I mean, it's not to say we are close to the equator. And it is hot as been in the 80s.
Yeah.
Every day since we've been here, high 80s. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see the breeze of the trees moving. It is a nice cool breeze that comes through. So it's not a humid hot. Now, if you are a person who doesn't do too well with heat, I would suggest you purchase, like, they have that handheld fans that you can buy, and they also have like the neck fans. And so you'll see some people walking around with the handheld fans to their face, and that'll help you out. But neither one of us like heat. I know I sweat easily, and the heat here has been very manageable.
Yeah. Now I've been sweating.
That's not to say you haven't been sweating, but it's manageable. It's nothing that you can't handle.
Yeah, and we took some long walks out there in the heat, and I ain't have no hat or nothing, and I was pretty good.
Yeah. But what I will say is, when you're taking the taxis or your Bolt or your Ubers, a lot of times those cars do not have AC.
Yeah.
Or they charge you extra for what they call a comfort ride, which supplies AC supposedly.
Yeah.
And it can get hot in those vehicles,
in them cars, yeah.
Especially if you're sitting in traffic. And traffic here is like no traffic you've ever seen before. To me, I was like, it's like a picture bumping cars.
Yeah.
That jam packed up bumping cars. Everybody trying to go their own different direction.
And ain't no real driving lanes.
Even though it is, but they
not really.
They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So, but there's places where the traffic is really backed up, and you can be sitting in that hot car for a while.
Yeah.
So
that's the only time you get real hot. That's when I turn on them neck fans and whatever, because it's hot in there.
Now, Anthony, he made sure that he brought his big tumbler for us. So before we leave the apartment every day, he fills it up with ice and water, so that wherever we're at, we have our water. It's not to say you can't get water, because people are selling water, cold water, along in the streets all day long. But we have our own container water.
Another thing on that too is, if you in a place where you can make your own ice, use bottled water for the ice trays.
Yeah.
Don't use the tap water. Use bottled water, freeze it up, and then you have fresh ice cubes for your morning, for your day.
Absolutely. Next thing, power outages. Before coming here, I thought that, not thought, but I've seen a lot of people talking about how, the lights go out here quite often. And I think it's not so much in Ghana, maybe more in Nigeria. Since we've been here, the power has only gone out one good time. And it was only for like a minute or so, not even that long. Right, Anthony?
Mm-hmm.
It was just real quick, and then the power came back on. Mind you, we've been here for 9 days. 9 days, power only went out one time. And because of my concern about the power, I went and purchased these little camping lights and all this other stuff, but we wound up not even needing that. Okay, bathrooms next. You want to make sure that you use the bathroom before you leave out your apartment or wherever you're staying at. Because not everywhere where you're out and about has proper bathroom facilities. You know, some places, you know, they don't, there's no bathroom around at all, and people are just using the bathroom outside. Okay, or if they do have some type of bathroom, it's a hole in the ground. So think about that, you know, before you go out for the day, or go places where you know you're gonna be near a proper bathroom. Let's talk about phone service, and it's some different things. I'm gonna talk about that. So one of you guys asked about SIM cards, and I think Anthony can explain the SIM cards and the eSIM cards a little bit better than me. But one of the things you do want to make sure that you do is download WhatsApp. If you don't already have WhatsApp, download it. And because everyone around here uses WhatsApp, and they have WhatsApp numbers that they'll give you, and you can communicate. Family from back home can communicate with you on your WhatsApp. Everywhere, pretty much has Wi-Fi, so you can log on and use your phone. If you have iPhone, of course, you guys know that you can FaceTime, message, and all that without even having phone service, as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi. So that's been really helpful for us. So you want to explain to them about what we did?
Sure. Okay, so about the SIM cards. Now, if you have a newer iPhone, they don't carry physical SIM cards anymore. It's the eSIMs, which could be a little complicated to get. But what we was fortunate to have, we had an old iPhone that we used, and we just opened up a new line with international roaming. So now we can be able to make calls and have internet for the time that we here. Then once you get back to the States, then you can just cancel it, and you just pay off of whatever you use for that time that you was there. If you don't want to use that, and your phone has where you can get a physical SIM card, then you can get a SIM card in Ghana. Mm-hmm. Usually, it's people selling SIM cards as soon as you get out of the airport. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to do those or not, because they might try to overcharge you for the SIM cards. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can go to the mall, and they have the telecoms there where you can get a SIM card to be put into your phone, and they can activate it, and you'll be able to.
And they'll give you a Ghanaian number.
Right. So, like she said, most places have Wi-Fi. You ask them for the passcode, they give it to you. If you're staying in a Airbnb condo building or a resort or a hotel, they got Wi-Fi, and you could be able to, if you had an iPhone, you could do FaceTime, or you could do the WhatsApp, or you could do Messenger and make phone calls that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay, safety tips. I would say if you are traveling alone, if you're a woman, or anybody in that matter, if you're traveling alone, try not to travel too much when the sun goes down. You should probably be wherever you're supposed to be, because the traffic gets a little hectic. You know, people moving around, hustling and bustling about, and sometimes it can get a little chaotic. There's two travel apps that people use. Everybody knows Uber, but then also Lorraine explained to them in the last video was Bolt. And Bolt operates just like Uber. It's I think he said it started in Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah, and now it's here, and it's cool. But the driver that we had yesterday, he also explained to us that sometimes it could be unsafe to do Bolt at night, and it's better to do Uber at night, because they have proper credentials, and if they mess that up, they can't no longer do Uber anymore. So they have a little bit more, I guess a background check happening and everything like that, where they're more solid and they're more safer for you to travel with at night. During the day, if you want to use Bolt, because sometimes Bolt is a couple dollars cheaper or whatever, it's fine. But he just said at night you shouldn't do that. And also just be aware of people just being your surroundings, just like anywhere else you go. Just be aware of your surroundings, little kids or adults, just be careful. Make sure you got everything in proper places. If you don't have a bag or something like that, make sure you got pockets with buttons on them. Make sure they snap closed, like a cargo pants, short, whatever. And so that nobody won't, if it's a crowded area, somebody might try to take your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that to happen. And that's like anywhere you go in life, just make sure everything is on you at all times.
Food delivery. Now, Bolt does have a separate food delivery app, and you can use that just like the Uber Eats, DoorDash, that type of thing, and you can order things. And the Bolt food delivery app is really good. We haven't had any issues with it. We ordered food last night, and that food was here probably in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
From between the time we ordered it, they prepared it, and got it here. It was really fast.
Most of these food carriers, they use motorbikes, so they don't even adhere to traffic. They just go. They skim through everything and they get to their destination pretty fast.
Yeah. But with the food, even with the Bolt food delivery app, that's cash too. So, and when you download that app, you have to make sure that you choose the cash option for payment, because they won't come any other way. I think a lot of these you're gonna have to talk about, Dwayne, because the small change, I think that's important.
Okay.
All right, so Anthony's gonna talk about that, but before I switch it over to him, I'm gonna talk about groceries. They do have ShopRites here, which I'm gonna post a video at some point of ShopRite, and ShopRite has pretty much everything. They're more like their ShopRites is more like a department store, because they sell all kinds of stuff besides just food and groceries, and they sell pretty much what you can find in the States. They might not have the vast variety, but they selling everything. Yeah. You also can get hot food at ShopRite, already prepared foods. They have bakery department. They got their fruits and vegetables. They have everything. So you'll see that in the videos when I post those. They also have, the stands. You can walk out your apartment, and there's people that have little shops, and you can, maybe you don't need a whole carton of eggs. Maybe you just need a couple eggs. You want to make scrambled eggs that morning. You can just grab a couple eggs. You can grab bread, whatever you need, water, everything, because they have shops everywhere. People selling stuff everywhere. Yeah. So when you talk about convenience, it's convenient, because they're buying. People are buying and selling everywhere pretty much. So I'm gonna turn it over to Anthony. He's gonna talk about change.
Oh. Okay, so change. I would say, if you come in here, obviously you come in here to have a good time. You come in here to spend money, to buy some things, gifts or whatever, and just the full experience of Ghana. But I also would say to you to have small change on you, whether it's the 1 CD coins or $5 CDs or $10 CD notes. 20 CDs. 20 CD notes. Because some things might not cost that much. Some things might be only 3 CDs. Sometimes might be only be 5, 10, 15. But when you go to exchange the money, they just giving you 100 CD notes. And a lot of people, either whether they don't want to give you any small change or they don't have any small change. I even experienced this at the grocery store. They would rather you give them small change so they can give you back big bills. So try to keep the small change, try to keep the CDs on you, because you might need stuff to tip people if you want to, or you might get something that doesn't cost that much, and you just got these big bills and it's hard for you to break those.
And also, if you just have big bills, then some of these places, they expect you to spend the whole thing, and you might not want to spend the whole thing, but they don't want to give you change. They want you to spend that whole $100 CD. I'm saying dollars, but 100 CDs, and at their shop. So that's why you should also want to make sure that you have change.
And break down your money too, because you want to support these African people out here, and whatever business or entrepreneurship that they're doing, but you don't want to break the bank, especially in 1 or 2 days. So
Yes.
what Lorena started doing was we would leave some money back at the hotel in a room in a secret spot, whatever. Like, we won't take it with us because
Yes.
it's easy to say we don't have any more because we used all our budget.
Yes.
So have a budget of what you want to spend to support entrepreneurs and whatever for that day or whatever have you. So then you won't feel guilty. Like, they will try to like she said, they will try. If you have more money, they want you to spend all your money there.
Yes.
And they don't care about spreading it out to the rest of the people.
Nope.
Just their spot.
Yes.
So just make sure that you have a budget. So so it's easy for you to be like, well, I don't have no more money. I'm gone. I was done.
Yeah.
You know, and then they leave you alone.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you're willing to, you know, in your heart, you know, if it's put on your heart to, like, you know, give people. It's a lot of homeless people, or that be asking and begging for money,
especially children,
and they
use the children.
They use their children to get money from you, and sometimes it's really hard to say no, but it's easier to give if you have the little coin CDs. If you just give them one CD or whatever, and then you gotta be careful because say you give one, and then next you know it'd be like 5 or 6 kids. You didn't have enough. So if you want to start giving, make sure you have enough for the batch of kids that's coming up.
Yeah.
And so you can give them each one little CD, then they'll be grateful and they'll say thank you, and then they'll leave you alone.
Yes.
If you don't have that, then you know don't start something you can't finish. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind as well. Is, you know, a lot of times we all want to give, but then sometimes it's hard. Like you said, if you have big bills and you can't give because you know you're not gonna just be handing out big bills, and that's not what you.
Or else everybody gonna want big bills that's standing around watching it.
Right, and you don't want that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Ohimi. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So the last thing we want to talk about is get your guide. They have an app for it too. You could download it, or you could just go on their website. Now, we just found this out towards the end of our trip, but I wish we would have knew it before. We was able to go to the places that we wanted to go to outside of the city with Get Your Guide. We booked it the night before. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And they contacted us in less
right
than,
away.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They contacted us. They sent us a text, an email, all this other stuff to confirm a driver for the next day for 4 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. We booked it at 10 something at night.
Yeah.
And we was gonna have to be ready by 4:30 in the morning for our pickup.
Yes. And
for a 12-hour excursion.
For a 12-hour excursion that we paid for. It was a reasonable price.
Yes.
Way better than trying to pre-book
a Uber.
Uber or a boat or even one of the tour buses.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to book one of these excursions on a tour bus, or like in the States, you know, at home, and you're trying to do it, they're gonna charge you more. Yeah, they're gonna hike the price.
You're gonna pay more. And then, you know, you don't get the convenience of having a personal driver.
Right.
Like, all right, we had such a good driver that gave us so much more information and things to know about Ghana in general. And we had such great conversation with him.
We did. And we shared the ride with one lady, and she was pretty cool too. And he was just I'm not gonna say every Get Your Guide app driver is like that guy, but he was so charismatic and he was funny, and he made the 3-hour drive sound, you know, feel like it wasn't that far.
And
we also did a stop off with complimentary coffee and baked goods for the morning.
Yeah.
And then we just kept going, and it was good. We hit a couple of different spots. We did the forest, the rainforest, and we did 2 castles, and we also had stop restaurant for lunch.
Yes.
And he dropped us off back at our hotels where we stay at.
Yes.
And that was a big thing too, because if we wanted to get one of these tour buses, we have to meet them at the tour bus. That means that's more money you have to spend on a taxi or a cab or something like that. And then when you come back, you still got to get another taxi or a cab to get back to your hotel, which could be a little, because at a certain time of the day, the traffic is terrible.
Yeah.
So it'd be harder to get a boat or Uber to come at certain times of the day, depending on where you at. So the fact that we had a personal driver that picked us up from the hotel and dropped us off back at our hotel,
Yes.
And he was just, all around a great guy, and
Yes.
it was a great experience, and he made it a greater experience. So get your guide, the app, and they do it for a lot of places. I didn't even realize it was like worldwide. So definitely download that app if you plan on traveling different places and you want to go to different excursions, but you don't want to deal with the crowd of people.
Can you tell them about why we chose to come to Ghana as opposed to going to some other European country?
Okay, so why we chose to come to Ghana? First of all, we've been thinking about coming to Africa. We've been talking about coming to Africa for years. At times, we just didn't have the right time or the money, or even at the time, we was also looking for a house. We couldn't do both. But we also know we wanted to travel the world, and we wanted to fly over the Atlantic. But Paris and Spain and all these other places, China, they all cool places. But I just felt like it was just disrespectful to me and my ancestors to not come back to the motherland first. Like if I'm fly across the Atlantic Ocean, that I should come home first.
Yes.
And then travel all around the world.
Yes.
To get that blessing from home first,
Yes.
and then travel the world. That's just my personal feel on it. People can do whatever they want, but that's one of the reasons why we decided to come to Africa, because we always wanted to come to Africa anyway, but we wanted to make it a priority to come here first.
Yeah.
So with that being said, me and Lorena, we definitely enjoyed ourselves. We definitely learned a lot of things, and if you guys want to plan on coming to Ghana with us on another trip, let
Next
us know.
year, Ghana 2025?
Hey, listen, it can happen. And, let Lorena know. As you guys know, we also travel agents. We have Koopman Travel Group, and we'll probably put something together real nice with the things that we learned, and we continue to learn it, so that y'all don't have to figure things out when y'all come. We already got everything mapped out, and to make it more smoother and a better experience for y'all.
Yeah.
So until then, peace.